First, about climate change, I want to show you this spiral by NASA. So you can see that this is basically the global average temperatures over the years. Pre-industrial era, how the earth was warming up, like going towards -1 degree centigrade, the temperatures were going low. But as we move on the years, we go to the industrial era, and you will see what is happening with the overall average temperature of the world. Remember that according to the Paris Agreement, by the end of the century, we could afford a maximum of 2 degrees Celsius in temperature increase. But here, like you could see in 2024 and before that for a few years, we have already reached that limit. It's only 2025, and you could see what is happening right there. This is global. When it comes to Pakistan, this picture was taken exactly 1 year ago. It was 22nd September 2024, and it was published on BBC, taken by NASA. This is Lahore and Delhi. We, the so-called enemies, Pakistan and India, are together in it, at least friends here. So you could see the fires here, okay? And then this is 1.5 months after this picture. So this is all smoke that you Lahoris take. It's more than the cigarettes that you smoke. And this is what is happening to your health, at least what the climate change is doing to you guys. Now, Pakistan, at least in something, we topped the rankings. That is the highest temperature before 2022 for the last 5 years. You could see that it is more than 53 degrees Celsius. That is not a heat wave, guys. That is the temperature. These rising temperatures, these result in heat waves, floods, fatalities. We have seen that across Pakistan. It is happening right now. Climate change is real. Now, one thing that we establish here, that climate change is real, but who is the main culprit? Which sector is the main culprit? If you look at this data, 73% of the global greenhouse gas emissions, which are dangerous for the environment and climate, it comes from energy. 73%. What if we reduce these 73%? Or can we reduce this 73%? Or can we say that energy is not good for development? That is another thing. But energy access is critical for economic prosperity and well-being of a country. This is not what I'm saying. You look at this chart, and you look at the top right. We have Norway, USA, Ireland. Their per capita income is so high, as well as their per capita energy consumption. Then you look at the bottom left, you have Somalia, Burundi, Sierra Leone, and their per capita income is quite low, as well as their energy consumption. So we cannot develop without energy consumption. Does it mean that climate change and energy access are two opposite things? That's another question. There is no economically rich country with low energy access throughout the globe. You cannot find one. Okay? So let me give you some states. 1 in every 8 person globally, they lack access to electricity or reliable electricity. And 1 in every 3 person globally, they rely on polluting fuels for cooking. When it comes to Pakistan, the situation is grave. If I put all of you in line in a straight row, every 4th person among you will have unreliable electricity access, and every 2nd person will have or will rely on polluting fuels for cooking. That's something very serious. We are again like on the worst side here. The consequences. Pakistan on the gender parity index was 151 out of 153 countries. That is our state. That is what we are doing to women and girls. Now imagine you are being forced to eat only when daylight is available. That is between sunrise and sunset. Imagine those long winter nights. You cannot even eat after the sunset. Why? Because you cannot use the toilet. It is a shared family toilet. You cannot use it. And why? Because you do not have access to lighting. My friends, this is what's happening with the women and girls in part of the country. We have witnessed that. We have documented that. The consequences go far beyond. It's a matter of life and death. I once visited a place where a lady died, and when I asked the reason for the death, the girls there like secretly told me we were in a basic health unit when we interviewed them, that basically the lady was on her menstruation cycle. She couldn't bring the fuels from the nearby mountains, and she was beaten to death by her husband. So energy excess can cause death. You can replace everything, but not life. Remember that. What it means for women and girls. Okay, when lack of energy access, what it means for women and girls, especially in rural Pakistan. Girls drop out earlier due to unsafe, dark classrooms. Why? Because they are always the second category citizens. They come to the school in the second shift. When there is no light, they are unsafe. There is a risk of gender-based violence. They cannot come to the school. The duration of the house, how many of the boys here, like how many of you do the household chores? Someone of you do, so clapping to you, but most of you, we don't do it. Okay, this is a responsibility socially for women and girls. Now, it's already like hot, it's difficult for them, but when it is dark, the household chores, the time for that doubles. And that is what is happening in rural Pakistan. And the most important of all, the women and girls will agree with me here, privacy. वो क्या होता है? Do we even know about privacy for girls? So, what we did, is there any solution for this? Yes, my friends, there is a solution for that. That is this system, a simple solar home system. The normal solar system, it requires a lot of the capital cost, but this system with a single portable solar panel, 3 LED bulbs, 1 fan, a battery unit. This is what we distributed among the rural Pakistanis. The cost of this is only, like, it ranges from $100 to $150. Do you know how much it is? It is the cost of a pair of branded shoes, or maybe you spend this much on a birthday party, or maybe on a meal with friends. But this money, this can bring dignity, light, cooling for a vulnerable family on daily basis for so many years. So, with this and with other activity, by we, when I say that we did this, I mean UNHCR. Our reach was that we solarized 150 public and community facilities. We started from a basic health unit, a primary school, and we went to the university level, to the hospital level. We distributed 50,000 of the solar home system that I showed to you. And these were also distributed among the forcibly displaced population. The reach for us was more than 1 million plus individuals. 50% of them were women and girls. The impact. So this clean energy access, this basically had a very good environmental impact. We saved 5,000 tons of CO2 with these initiatives. Now, to put it in context, it is 500,000 gallons of diesel. Or to put it in simple terms for you, that is 2 million liters of diesel unused. That is what we have saved for climate. But the major impact, as I told you, the topic is women and girls, the impact on them. You could see basically a third party took insights from more than 10,000 households about the initiatives that we took. More than 99% individual women, they said that there is an improvement in their privacy. When it comes to comfort level, more than 99% said that the comfort level has increased. Why? Because they have access to a fan now, a pedestal fan. They have access to lighting now. And the story does not stop here. The women hygiene, almost 100%, 99% said that there is a positive impact on our hygiene. The 1% who said no, they basically said that we don't use the reusable products. So the impact is 100% on hygiene of these initiatives. And then the gender-based violence, the most important one again, 99% women and girls reported that they feel safer now. They are much safer with these initiatives. So you can see the equation that I will tell you here about energy excess and the impact on gender is basically lighting is equal to protection and safety. Fans is equal to comfort. Education is equal to equal opportunity. And energy access is empowerment. It's just not access to power, it's empowerment. When we go to the next slide, so this is like what we did in the 2022 floods in Balochistan. People were saying that this is one of the best things that they had for during that difficult period. But let me give you a good story at the end. And this is, we solarized a technical vocational center in Quetta. The number of girl students in that facility increased from 1200 to 1800. They were able to save more, and because of that, new courses were introduced in the vocational center. These include videography, photography. And let me tell you, they are like the bakery students there, they are selling the items to notable organizations in Quetta now. This includes Serena as well. So where did we start? We started when that energy excess, the girls cannot go to the toilet at night. If you provide them energy access, they can be the bread earners of their house. They are not less than anyone else. Now remember, I told you in the beginning that I am the T-Rex. So I don't have a good news for you. I have this announcement to make. There is no more love in the air because we have a lot of CO2 here. Okay? And if you want to have that love back, stop climate change. Remember, if you want to save the planet, empower lives with clean energy. Bring light, bring hope, bring dignity. That will empower everyone. Thank you.